Welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Jack D. In the news this week, on a morning walkabout in Brighton, Ed Davey realises he may have overdone it with his Lynx Africa. There's a good turnout from the Vatican to celebrate the Bishop of Ibiza's 50th birthday. And despite his lead in the polls, Keir Starmer is keen to check on the Labour Party accommodation currently being provided for Jeremy Corbyn. On Ian's team tonight is a comedian who gave up his job of being a bouncer to become a stand-up, which means he now has an even harder job, stopping people walking out. Please welcome Emmanuel Sonubi. On Paul's team tonight is a Conservative MP who was elected in 2019 and was one of several to be dubbed a Boris baby. Nothing to brag about, there are dozens of them all around the country. Please welcome Dehenna, Davison MP.
Thank
you. Well, controversially, this week we're going to start with round one.
Oh.
Ian and Emmanuel, have a look at this.
He's still Prime Minister. Get a round of applause. 1 year. In real years, it's 100. And that's the friends he's left. That was a hopelessly biased answer.
Yeah.
Because we've got a Tory MP here. You know, relish it, because it's going to be a rarity.
The next election might not be until December 2024, so are you excited by the prospect of being in your job for the next 12 months, 13 months?
I think there's nothing people want more than another Christmas election, and actually it could run as far as January 2025. Usually you get ticked off when people knock on the door and it's carol singers. It's going to be us instead with our rosettes on, knocking on your doors, and I literally cannot think of a better Christmas gift, can you?
Yes.
I mean, like, anything.
Who's told Rishi the election has to be before then, though?
Is he taking advice from Liz Truss?
He's not. Officials have advised Rishi Sunak it would be a security risk if the UK election was held at the same time as America stages its own shit show.
What's the security risk?
Exactly.
I suppose if everyone is out of office at one time and, you know, we don't know who the Prime Minister is, we don't know who the President is, I can see that that could cause problems. I mean, we've lived with that problem for several years. And what effect has Prime Minister Sunak had on the Conservative Party's fortunes in the last year?
So I've been given my official line from CCHQ for this one.
It's not a line of cocaine, is it? Not Christmas.
It says everything is fine in giant letters, which is what I understand we're instructed to say these days.
What were Rishi Sunak's 5 priorities that he wrote down for everyone to see in January?
Don't be Liz Truss. Do not be Liz Truss. Don't be Liz Truss. Don't be Liz Truss.
That's only 4.
Fix swimming pool.
Yeah.
They were specifically halve inflation, grow the economy, reduce debt, cut waiting lists, and stop the boats.
Well, to quote Mr. Meatloaf, 0 out of 5 ain't bad.
Well, coming from you, Ian, I'm almost touched to hear you quoting Meatloaf. What's Rishi lost recently?
The will to live.
I assume this is perhaps a reference to 2 by-elections.
Oh, yes.
This is a week ago and it already feels like a lifetime, doesn't it?
I don't know, some of us still enjoying it.
The correct answer is not that he's lost 2 by-elections. I don't know why you had to bring it up.
I figured, it's coming, get it in early.
Well, he's lost his privacy, that's what I was getting at, because his mobile phone number has been circulated on social media by some social media pranksters. They're a laugh, aren't they? And no one rang. How long has Rishi Sunak had that mobile number for?
2 days, 18 years.
He had it when he was Chancellor and he had it all the way through COVID, and yet not one of his WhatsApp messages seems to have survived the COVID inquiry at all. There you go. What other evidence will the COVID inquiry not be hearing?
He won't be hearing from Simon Case.
Yes, right. Why is that?
He's ill. I don't know, it's this thing that happens when you're called in front of an inquiry. You just think, oh, I feel terrible. And I'm going to feel even worse when the evidence comes up.
You're correct. He's not going to face the inquiry due to a medical issue. The medical issue being that he doesn't have a leg to stand on. How is Rishi Sunak planning to improve his personal security?
Oh, I know this one. This is building a giant fence around his lovely North Yorkshire estate.
Yeah, why is he doing that? Yeah.
I think to stop Greenpeace yobbos getting in and climbing on the roof and whatever else.
Greenpeace yobbos?
Greenpeace yobbos.
It's a 165-foot fence it is he's putting up.
Is that wide or tall?
Well, yeah. What do the Conservatives really want?
Less opposition.
That would help. That would help a lot.
They want more tax cuts.
Yes, that's it.
That's what you always say when you're losing, just before an election. Maybe if we give people free money, they'll vote for them.
I think you mean give people their own money back.
Oh,
that's
of course,
what you
that's
mean.
what I keep forgetting. You supported Liz Truss, didn't you?
I did.
I didn't mean to be rude, but I thought I'd bring it up early. What about the bankers' bonuses? Are you keen on that?
I mean, I don't think they should ever have been capped in the first place, because I'd rather them get paid that money and then taxed on it, is my view, to go into public services and things. But now feels like a bit of an iffy time, given the pressures people are facing, to be cutting that cap.
So very much sitting on that big fence outside.
Being pragmatic, right?
Sorry, quick question. As a comedian, what is tax?
I think you have to ask Jimmy Carr.
Jeremy Hunt is thought to be too timid to endorse these tax cuts. Why might he just jack it all in anyway before the election?
Well, there was some report that he was so fed up with being accused of being timid and feeble that he might just pack it in.
Insiders think that he won't stand at all at the next election in order to avoid what's been called a Portillo moment. We have got a Portillo moment for you to look at here.
Oh, good. Who's that?
Bobby Gillespie from Primal Scream, Your Honour.
In the background.
I'm indebted to you.
It's a popular beat combo, my lad. Rather like Harry Roy's orchestra, sir.
A number of Tory MPs have declared that the Chancellor should be replaced with a more buccaneering alternative. Yeah. Sober up, Kwasi, you're back on. Trouble is brewing for Keir Starmer, though, potentially. It's quite a serious question, this one.
He's in trouble over the Labour Party's attitude to the Israel-Palestine conflict as it's going on at the moment. Some of his party are upset with him for not calling for a ceasefire and for appearing on a clip to endorse the Israeli government's policy of turning off food, water, aid, electricity. But calling for a ceasefire, I wouldn't have thought was terribly difficult. But hey, you know, what do I know?
At least 25 Labour councillors have resigned, and he had a stormy meeting about it this week with several angry Labour MPs. In other news, something's gone wrong with Rachel Reeves' new book.
Yes, bits of it appeared on Wikipedia before she wrote her book. And it may be... huge chunks of it, apparently, which appeared elsewhere before the publication.
Yeah.
I find this one particularly confusing, because I think Rachel went to Oxford and LSE, which are pretty, well-establisted, great universities.
There's a lot of thick people go to these places. Honestly, you'd be surprised that the standard has dropped over the years. Plummeted, hasn't it? Well, I'm not looking at anybody.
So my point is, I went to Hull, great university, in terms of the rankings, not quite up there with Oxford and LSE.
In terms of the what?
In terms of the university rankings,
Yeah.
not quite up there. And yet I'm pretty sure...
There's not much else to do in Hull. That's not fair.
But I'm pretty sure one of the first things we got told was, one, don't plagiarise, and two, certainly don't do it off bloody Wikipedia.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
if you're going to copy, don't copy bollocks.
Yeah.
This is the first anniversary of Rishi Sunak, although no card from Liz Truss. The message she wanted to send sadly violated Moonpig's terms and conditions. According to the Daily Mail, last year, Sunak's local council approved his plans to build a 40-foot heated swimming pool along with a gym, tennis court and pool house with hot tub. Who do you think he is, Captain Tom's daughter? The Conservatives have already started planning their election strategy with tax cuts to appeal to blue wall voters, NHS spending to appeal to red wall voters, and tougher immigration policies to appeal to Millwall voters. So, Paul and Dehenna,
yes,
take a look at this.
OK, Donald Trump.
Got his moves from Theresa May.
Yeah. This is him walking into the courtroom that's going on. This is Michael Cohen, his former attorney who did a lot of sort of dirty work for Donald Trump. And that's money. Michael Cohen has admitted to inflating Donald Trump's wealth to various people. Donald Trump, he's called Michael Cohen a liar, a fraudster. He can't tell the truth. He can't be trusted.
Yeah, but you covered it. Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, this is Donald Trump's ongoing court woe, as in, whoa, he got caught red-handed. Trump's been charged with inflating the value of his assets.
Yeah.
Just a little amuse-bouche sandwich between the treason and prostitute cases.
Yeah.
You see. What ingenious system did Cohen claim Trump used to inflate the value of his assets?
He would inflate his worth when he needed to borrow money from banks, and he would say he didn't have anything like that amount of money when it came to tax.
Right. Let's make a note.
Yeah. What was Cohen's motive to dump on Trump?
There's a really unpleasant thought from the next case.
Yeah. Maybe we should read his book and see if we can find any clues. What startling discovery did Donald Trump make this week, though?
Was it a cure for cancer?
No, it wasn't quite that, although I expect that'll be soon. Well, let him do the speech.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
OK.
Yeah, why not?
I'm for us. Come for us. You know how you spell us, right? You spell us, U.S. I just picked that up. Has anyone ever thought of that? I just picked that up. A couple of days I'm reading and it said us.
When he's going off on one of these mad digressions, I'd love just to see the audience's face. They must be sort of frozen in a kind of sort of rictus grin as the man that they love just talked bollocks endlessly.
Nothing like that in UCK. What has happened with the speaker position?
They've elected somebody who's a Trump supporter who believes that the 2020 election was stolen.
Do you know who they did elect in the end? The name?
Michael somebody.
Michael, yeah. I don't know, because it's not written down here.
No.
Yeah.
And he may well have gone by the time this programme goes out.
You might well have done,
That's why I didn't bother learning his whole name.
That's not worth it. No point. Yeah. Let's have a look at who Trump suggested.
I said there's only one person that can do it all the way. You know who that is? Jesus Christ.
The man to the left of Trump wearing the yellow tie has got a look in his face saying, God, I wish I'd practiced the piano. I could have been a concert pianist instead I'm standing here.
Well, it's almost like the most ridiculous thing Trump ever said, which was, one day I'm going to be president, and yet we are still living in this fever dream.
Yeah, it's true. Boris said the same. There's no comparison between the two of them. One of them's a complete buffoon who should be in jail. The other one's there on the screen. Thank goodness I'm here for balance, honestly.
Here's the Speaker candidate, Tom Emmer, speaking remotely to Congress via Zoom and showing why he might not be the right man for the job. Here he is.
Today's gig economy sprung out from the last recession that offers a job that anyone needs. During COVID-19, we must make sure that our nation's sole proprietors and the smallest of small businesses receive timely...
Will the gentleman suspend? I'm sorry, Mr. Emmer?
Yes.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Poor man born with his face upside down. Shame.
These are the trials of Donald Trump. In his autobiography, Michael Cohen described Trump as a cheat, a liar, a fraud, a bully, a racist, a predator, and a con man. And that was when they were still friends. And so to round two. And as you probably know, there's nothing I love more than Halloween. Which is why they've made this for me. It's the Cauldron of News. Health and safety wouldn't let us have dry ice, so I've used fire.
I'm fine, by the way.
Fingers on buzzers.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Here's the first question. Oh, look!
Well, judging by the pictures, we're meant to assume he's told a joke and she's not very happy with it.
That has not worked out, has it?
No, don't tell jokes on the first date. It doesn't help.
Yeah. Is that a guess?
Yes.
Well, one, because the punchline's flowers.
Yes, this is the news that men being funny on a first date doesn't always impress. The study found that being funny made no difference to whether potential partners found them more attractive. According to the Times, previously it was thought that being funny indicated the presence of mental speed and intelligence. Intelligent. What else did they find causes laughter on a first date? What else did they find?
Unexpected acrobatics.
So we've got poor jokes. Weirdly enough for me, politics.
Really?
Yes.
That would put you off?
Yes.
OK.
Oh, there was a stony silence then, wasn't
Yeah.
there?
30 men up there with notepads waiting for you to finish this list.
How would you go about impressing someone on a first date, though?
I'd turn up.
Yeah?
There's a certain commitment.
Yeah?
Nice.
Tell them I'm a personal friend of Ian Hislop.
No, I said impress.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Who will have to run their relationships past a new body?
Is it Matt Hancock?
This is ITV,
Yes, it is. It is. It is, Dehenna.
If you dare to have a friendship with another member of ITV staff, you must declare said friendship.
Yes,
from now on.
even if it's platonic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this in reaction to the
Philip
Phil and
Schofield.
Holly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Schofield, yeah.
Paul, how would you describe your relationship with your colleague Ian, if you have to declare it? What would you say?
Distant. By about 14 feet.
This is the latest survey that's revealed that women don't always find funny men attractive. Didn't need a survey to tell me that. Scientists have further analysed what women consider attractive in men, revealing 1 in 10 find intelligence to be most important.
1 in 10?
Yeah, I'd have thought it'd been higher, like 1 in 12.
Yeah.
OK, here we go again.
Cauldron of News.
Yeah, hold it.
Oh, here we
Hold it.
go.
Smoke again.
Fingers on buzzers.
Yeah.
And here's the next one from the Cauldron of News.
The studio's on fire.
Isn't this band under ULEZ?
The Cauldron of News is in danger of outstaying its welcome. More like Cauldron of shit.
Here we go. How dare you?
Jack looks like he's doing an audition for Macbeth.
Buzz in if you know what this story is about.
Well, it's clearly bulls, and somebody's been cheating by using a giant pea.
It is bull, yeah.
Yeah, there's been fights, there's been aggressiveness between teams.
It's to do with the drinking.
Yeah.
They're asking people to stop turning up drunk or something.
Yes.
But why? Surely that would make this better.
Umpires have been threatening to boycott the game after a surge in what the Telegraph describe as pétanque rage driven by drunken players. Who'd have thought those red-faced, overweight, bulbous-nosed Frenchmen you see shouting at each other in town squares are not actually elite athletes as we once thought. Who is to blame if it's not just the players?
It's not the mums on the sideline shouting like they do at kids' football matches, is it?
Yeah.
No, the mums are all dead. It's the Bull clubs themselves, according to French newspaper Le Figaro. Clubs start selling whiskey, pastis and punch. I didn't know they had pastis. I thought it was just Cornwall.
But that game looks like it started by drinking. You put a Wetherspoons in the back of that.
Dave, I reckon I can get this ball next to that Brussels sprout closer than you can.
And it would be brilliant in Wetherspoons because they'd have a sort of sticky carpet, so the balls...
One referee went on to say you get all sorts, the bad-tempered, the cantankerous and the embittered. Found my sport. National Association are trying to get the sport ratified for the Olympic Games, yeah. There's another rowdy sport in Mexico hoping to become an Olympic event as well. Do you want to have a look at that?
Yes.
You know what? Until he took that shot, I looked at that and thought, I'm pretty sure we stopped this 400 years ago. Don't ever go at me, you did it.
Yeah.
So this is, what, a mixture of lassoing people and football?
Was that a lasso?
What do they call those things?
A bolus.
Yeah. How do you know that?
Well, I did it for A-level.
This is the outbreak of drunken fighting during games of pétanque in France, which has been dubbed a hooliganism. One referee claimed that he was almost strangled earlier this month, adding, I've seen this happen before. If only the French had an expression for that. Time now for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. Your four are Emmanuel Macron, Larry the Cat, Robert Peston and Björk.
Björk?
Yeah. Well, I've worked with Björk and she told me that's how you pronounce my name.
Really? Björk?
Yeah. And I said, OK, Björk.
What were you working on?
Top of the Pops. Yeah, a long time ago I was presenting it and she was on it and she was telling me all about Christmas in Iceland, at the end of which I thought she's absolutely barking mad.
Are you the only former presenter of Top of the Pops who's not in prison?
Yes. So far.
Yeah. So, Björk.
Yeah.
Lurie the Kurt.
Bjork's the odd one out, surely. She's the only one who's got a part-time job standing on the hard shoulder of the M20. Got to be, isn't there? Is Larry the Cat the only Nazi at the fort? Meow. For you, mouse, the war is over.
They all love fish, apart from Emmanuel Macron, who was not a fan of his fish sandwich. Anyone know where he got it?
Yeah, fish shop. Fish sandwich shop.
It was during a trip to Hamburg.
Le Greg's.
To visit his German counterpart, Olaf Scholz. And here he is after his first bite. Everyone else seemed to be enjoying theirs. How do we know that Björk is a fan of fish?
She said, I'm a fan of fish.
She's got a song about fish.
She has.
Yeah.
It's called Help Fight Fish Farming in Iceland. A catchy title, isn't it?
Yeah.
She told The Guardian that there is a good punk song to be written about fish, so I've come up with...
Yes.
Never Mind the Pollocks. God Save the Bream. Really good.
I've got to get out of this place.
What does eating fish have to do with Robert Peston? What does it do to him?
He looks like he really loves it.
Yeah, there he is, yeah. His new novel, The Crash, features a character he's based on himself who gets an almost sexual pleasure from eating turbot.
Almost?
Yeah. Peston, he's formed a punk band called Centrist Dad. And Peston sings lead vocals. As if that wasn't enough, Ed Balls is on drums.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Robert Peston and Ed Balls performed in a punk band at a street party in Hampstead. But at one point, things turned ugly and they were pelted with quail's eggs and sun-dried tomatoes. There you go. OK.
Jack's wearing an earpiece, he's not gone loony.
Yeah.
They better not cut Larry the Cat being a Nazi.
Yeah.
I shall be angry. I shall march into Poland.
time now for the Missing Words round, which this week feature as its guest publication, Lucid Dreaming Experience.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
And we start with man with 7-foot dog is often asked what?
How big is your poop bag?
Is his tongue long enough so he can lick his... I don't know what the answer is.
He's often asked how much for a ride. He's called Abu.
Oh, blimey.
Abu's 6-1 to win Crufts and odds on to win the Grand National. Next, nudist kicked out of Weatherspoons after what?
Playing French game of bowls drunk.
Refusing to use a spoon to stir his coffee.
The answer is actually accidental exposure while picking up a poppadom. It actually put several of the other customers off their breakfast Stellas. Next, Spanish Duke is told what is not legal.
His dukedom is not legal. Title is not legal. His castle is not legal.
You're quite close.
Yeah.
It's actually his daughter's name is not legal. The name was too long under Spanish law to be legally registered. The Duke wanted to call his daughter
Sofía Fernanda Dolores Gaetana Teresa Ángeles de la Cruz Miquela del Santísimo Sacramento del Perpetuo Socorro de la Santísima Trinidad y de los Todos los Santos.
You said that about moving your lips.
And finally, if what you're probably dreaming.
If you've just held on to your constituency against the odds.
If you're Ian Hislop and you're winning Have I Got News For You...
The answer is an umbrella suddenly appears in your hand, then you're probably dreaming.
It's a sure sign.
Yeah, it is from dreams sent in by readers of Lucid Dreaming Experience. Incidentally, if you're dreaming and it suddenly starts raining, I'd wake up and get to the toilet. The final scores are Ian and Emmanuel with 4, Paul and Dehenna with 5.
No!
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
I think the sunblocker we're using is too strong.
New Beckham documentary.
I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I never wanted to move to Welwyn Garden City.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Emmanuel Sonubi, Paul Merton and Dehenna Davison, and I leave you with the news that in Ashton, staff pulled together to make all the preparations for Angela Rayner's next constituency meeting. Producers of The Apprentice say screen tests for a replacement for Lord Sugar aren't going well. And at a rally in Florida, attendees get more than they bargained for as Donald Trump bends down to pick up a pen mid-speech. Good night.
AI and Planet Earth 3 are the latest topics for the newscast team. Listen now on BBC Sounds. Next here on BBC One, Mammy's not invited to the hen party, but that won't stop her Friday night comedy with Mrs. Brown's Boys.